I haven't seen this one myself before, so not really sure what to expect. But n0ne is a sick player, a sick person as well. So I think we're in for a good watch. Yeah, this one is like 2 years old or something, but I guess it never got like as much views as it probably deserves. We're gonna get started. The n0ne documentary. It's a pretty long one, but yeah, never watched it, so I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what it's about. Just seeing so many people at a tournament, like it feels like it's forever since offline events were a thing.
So, I used to play when I was younger, when the game originally came out, and then like for the longest time, like it went into this back part of my mind. You know, I came here, I went to school, and then out of pure cheap luck, like I was looking at some videos on YouTube, and I wanted like to see some competitive like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, dude, n0ne is such a sick player.
Was,
for sure, one of my
n0ne.
favorite players.
And the most interesting thing was that it had like a Canadian flag and a Nicaraguan flag, and I'm from Nicaragua, so that right off the bat like caught my interest. And so I started seeing videos of this guy play, right? And I'm like, wow, this guy's really good. So I started looking a little bit into his background, and he's actually one of the best Falcon players in the world. And I started seeing more and more videos about it, and he's like representing, you know, Nicaragua, like, and he's one of the top players. So I'm like, wow, this is awesome. This is somebody from where I'm from who's doing really, really well at this esport. And it just makes you think like, wow, you know, anybody can do it if you put the time into it.
Yeah, his setting as Mewtwo King in this journey was pretty crazy.
I feel like Mewtwo King is giving him opportunities that he's not taking.
Right. Oh yeah, the needles actually cover below.
Yeah, oh interesting. Mewtwo King knows that you can't throw just one needle, you have to charge and get two. It's the second needle that hits lower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the needles a lot of times are random as well. Like exactly what height they're flying in. I feel like it's very
What?
I hate to see
yeah, no,
that.
that was the Mewtwo King shaking his head.
Yeah, okay.
That's normally not a good look.
Wow, now the set's looking good.
Yeah, the Mewtwo King shaking his head, that's when it's over. If you don't give him anything the next 10 seconds...
That might be
I mean, honestly, to be fair, Mewtwo King got a lot better at that compared to like the early years, but still.
Reverse, maybe. He ran to the right. Oh, what? Crouch cancel forward smash. It not just does it.
Yeah, that was reverse 3-0.
I never heard about him was called the Big
Makes
House
it even
4.
crazier.
I think that might have been one of the earliest tournaments that he came, at least in
Let's go, Gamero.
United States. And everyone was talking about this Falcon who was just crazy, and he played wild, and he played with so much energy, and it was fast, and it was exciting to watch. And I grew up in the game learning with Falcon players. I later mained him for a while. Everyone I talked to was about the character, and it's my favorite character. And so then you slowly saw this player like getting better and improving, and then like in April of 2015, he came out to the first, my first tournament, like the first time he came to a tournament that I hosted, and he won that over some of our Michigan players, and it was really exciting to watch because you don't see Falcon beating Puff in grand finals that often. And he did it in the most exciting way. It was fast-paced, and he finished it with like a triple stomp into knee combo. It was super, just unreal hype, and I just fell in love with him like as a player at that point, and loved watching him play. And then I loved talking about like the method behind the
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that, Sverre. That's like, it's like a funny thing with n0ne. He does like arguably the coolest things in the whole scene, and he seems to care the least, and it makes it so funny, especially, you know, like a huge content creation era where like it's so much reaction to everything. Arguably overdone a lot, and then you have n0ne do the sickest things, and he's like it's like he doesn't care. It looks like he couldn't give less of a shit. But in my opinion, that makes it extra cool because he does it and it's just like badass. Like, he doesn't do something solid and just jump out of his seat. He does the sickest shit and it's like, yeah, that's it, you know? I think it makes it more funny and more cool.
Madness, because no one, I don't think a lot of people appreciate it. Just there's so much that goes into his play.
That Plop is gonna land on the platform before he can get out of the second move. So he waits for it. A lot of people, they do overextend and throw out the second move, and their opponent tags and escape.
Okay.
Oh, that was a shield fair.
Dude, when Plop was active, it was so rough to beat Plop in this matchup.
Plop moving into top 8, he's gonna play, I believe, Hungry Box.
Yeah, Hungry Box.
So that's gonna be interesting.
This tournament, the results are a lot more different because although I didn't end up getting top 8, I did beat a god in the way. I got 9th. I was 1 round away, 1 stock away. You know, in the end, the results is what matters. But deep down, you know what really went down. So it's it's a confidence booster for sure. So that will definitely help me out, like going into the year. The year's just begun. There's a lot more events coming up. I'm a lot more hungry. Look, my plan is to always stay hungry, to keep improving, stay motivated. That way, you improve for free, basically. It comes naturally. Everything happens naturally. So I'm gonna be studying a lot. I'm gonna be working on my game. Stop being so stubborn. That's one of my issues. And just good stuff to come for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played against n0ne for a pretty long time now, obviously, but yeah, like stubbornness has historically been his weakness. He want to do it his own way, right? I mean, it is at the same time one of his bigger strengths. He plays very unique. At times it feels like the guy has no nerves. Like if you play against a player similar skill level, and in many scenarios the nerves will get in their way. They might start second guessing themselves, but with n0ne, it actually feels many times like the guy do not get nervous. And that's so weird to play against. Because when you do play against another human being, it's not only like an executional test, right? You also need to like read your opponent, and nerves often comes into that. If people get too afraid, certain options might be more common. Panic options, they want to get out of these uncomfortable situations. But someone like n0ne, you don't really get him nervous. I feel like you can get him like frustrated, especially when like wobbling was legal, for example. So you could get him frustrated and play worse due to that. But I never really felt like he played worse due to nerves. And that's very, very scary to play against. But yeah, his stubbornness could sometimes, lead to too many like risky situations and unnecessary like letting the opponent get back because he wanted to like finish off a stock in a certain way. But I mean, I guess it's part of like why people love to watch him, that he really does his own thing. Yeah, he's very good at reading other people getting nervous. 100%. I mean, I kind of feel like you need to do that even more with Falcon than many other characters.
Evo, I mean, it's the biggest tournament, man. It's the most prestigious one, right? So people are definitely looking here, and it definitely matters, I usually don't check, but for this one I did. So I do know I have Johnny, SCJ. If I win, I have Armada. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, from there, Weonex was also new to the country at that time. Like, he moved like a month before n0ne came to visit. And, yeah, so he came, so he left 2 weeks later. And then, he came back again 2 years after. I think it was like a week after Impulse 1, where we had all of the gods except Armada come to that tournament. It was like an 80 entrant event. So there was Dr. PP, Mango, Mitsu King, and H-Box. And they all came and took the top 4 slots, of course. And then n0ne was actually upset that he missed all of them like a week. Like it became.
I actually had no idea about that.
And so, like, we played more, like, he improved, and also I improved. Like, me and the others improved too, so he was, like, still comparable with our skill level. We played actually a really close set at monthlies I used to host back then too, where he nearly reverse 3-0'd me, actually. And he beat n0ne, I think, that time, and n0ne was actually, like, the top player in our region at that time. So, yeah, those were, like, the first 2 times. Then he moved officially in 2014, and then, yeah, and then, you know, we hang out often, go to tournaments together, and, like, teamed a few times. And yeah, he's, like, pretty much just a mainstay in Canada now.
I did round 1 pools. I had to buy the first round, then I played a Fox. Pretty good. I think he's from NC or Georgia. I forget where he's from. After that, I think I played right after.
It looks funny because he was like pretty good, and then you see like a 4 stock is about to happen.
And after that, I played a Falcon from Mexico, Cancun. He was pretty good. I don't really.
Again.
I mean, if they ask, I'm down to help them with advice. But usually, I tell them like just normal competitive fighting game stuff. You know, like use shield more, wave dash out of shield. But that's melee stuff, I guess. But just overall stuff that will help you with game sense. You know, because I think I play more on. Yeah, I play more on game sense. I don't play on covering options and stuff. So I usually tell them just very fundamental stuff to work on.
Yeah, I mean, this is not super relevant to the doc itself, but if you ask advice, if you're a player to go up to like n0ne or whoever it might be at a tournament, if you ask for advice, general advice from me is be specific. If you ask super broad questions, it's a very low chance you're gonna get a good answer. Like, if someone is like, oh, like, what should I do better? Like, normally you're not gonna like get a very good answer. It's much better to be specific. Like, the more specific you are, I feel like the higher the chances that you're gonna get a proper answer.
Dash attacks like a... Up air? Oh my god, yeah. Great DIY by
he's
n0ne.
playing, SUJ's playing that safe right there. Dude, did you see him turn around
He's dead.
intentionally? Did you see him turn around intentionally for the cross through so he could grab afterwards? That was so smart.
n0ne looking away, he was up a lot. I think that, you know, the momentum all kind of died after that. His I don't even know what to call it. Is it his second stock or his third stock? I want to see a game 3 though, so I'm cheering for n0ne right now. Lend n0ne your energy unless you want to see SUJ continue, because he actually got 5th at the last Evo, which is incredible for Captain Falcon. He did get 5th, right? It wasn't
He got, yeah, he beat SUJ.
Well,
he beat West Balls.
All right, well, that was a great set. Unfortunately for n0ne, you know, he was pretty dominant showing the first few stocks, but then I guess he wasn't really getting his first hits.
Dude, it's like a shame in losers at Evo, like so many games, like so many sets are like, you know, lost. So there's only one stream.
I'm not sure what I got, honestly, but I did end up playing SUJ in winners. I lost that 2-0, wasn't playing that great. After that, I played Laud, and it was a close 2-1. I think it was last stock, I forget. But yeah, kind of sucks. Evil's pretty rough. It's only best of 3, so I mean, it happens, you know. Like, it obviously sucks, but I mean, you should take a loss at something that'll help you for the future. You know, you shouldn't let it get you emo or something, if that makes sense. Just use it as to get better, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure n0ne got like 9th at like 2 Evos or something. Like, not this one obviously, but I think he got like 9th at 2 other Evos. So I mean, he did do better at some of the other ones. I feel like he also did have like fairly good records against STJ historically, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, 2 out of 3 can be rough. I hate 2 out of 3. Yeah, and I mean, STJ and Laud are both really good players, so it's, you know, no shame in losing to either one of them.
Okay, so basically what happened with me was I was raised in Canada. I moved back to Nicaragua. I moved back a good time, like 10 years, 11 years. In those 10, 11 years, now my city, Chinandega, is like so much more developed than it used to be. Now, like, you can find people that know English everywhere. Back in the day, for me to maintain my English, I did thanks to RPGs and movies, basically. Movies in English, I would like go rent them. Internet wasn't even a thing back in the day.
No sé, nunca lo he visto bien. Para mí él puede hacer más dinero, mejor vida, haciendo otro tipo de trabajo, teniendo su propia profesión y dedicarse a... Pero si a él le gusta, lo apoyo. Me alegro que esté teniendo éxito porque eso es lo que él dice, pues que está saliendo adelante.
Before all of this, you gotta understand these people, you know, they live in a third world country, so this whole new era we're in of esports and all of this, like, we understand it because we're in North America. We see all this firsthand, but these guys don't. Like, these people, like, if you don't know Melee, you won't even go to a computer. You won't see a game. Not even Melee, you know, any other game. You just don't know how it is. So they said I wasn't doing anything with my life. I was just wasting my time. And, you know, you just, when people tell you that kind of stuff, you just don't care. It's your passion. You're like, yeah, whatever. You know, you just flip everyone off. And it was my family and the same thing. You know, my girlfriend, my mom. I was having some rough times mentally. But you know, it sounds cringy and stuff. But now that I go back and reflect on everything, it's not cringy at all because it was my passion, it was my dream, and I just wanted to play. And it would come up to the point where I would have to go against my family just to do it. And you know, it sucks. It's rough times, but in the end, I guess it all worked out. It was worth it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I also gotta say, like, n0ne's stream in the past, like, year or so has really popped off. As someone that's, like, always enjoyed watching n0ne play and also enjoyed him as a person, I love hanging out with n0ne. He's a very cool guy, very funny guy. To me, it was always weird how his stream was, like, not doing as good as I would have expected it to, but then, like, a year and a half ago, something like that, he just, like, blew up, and he has had, like, big success in the past year or so. So I mean, it clearly paid off, and I'm very happy for him because he deserves it. He deserves it. You know, cool guy and cool player. So I'm not sure why it took a while, but eventually he got the payoff. So it was nice. It was nice to see. But also, like, yeah, a lot of people do go through these things with, like, their parents and stuff, and I guess especially when, like, you know, not as developed countries, like, playing a video game for a living, it probably just, it sounds absurd. It's like, this can't be real, right? Even in developed countries, so many people, like, have to, like, you know, struggle to, like, get to do this. A lot of people don't understand it. But yeah, good shit to n0ne. Good shit to n0ne.
Pensé que andaba en fiesta. Pensaba muchas cosas, pues, negativas así. Que andaba con mujeres, con amigos, tomando. Y como no llegaba a hacer visitas, se perdía. Entonces pensaba cosas malas. Eso es lo que a él le gusta. Hay que respetar su decisión, lo que le gusta a él, y ahora lo admiro, pues, porque hasta donde ha llegado muy lejos. Antes lo miraba así como un juego sobre Smash, y ahora es una persona, o sea, con éxito acerca de eso, de Smash. Y pues me siento bien porque le gusta a él, me siento orgullosa, es alguien conocido, y es bonito porque, o sea, uno mira siempre el lado malo, pero tiene que ver el lado bueno de las personas también. Porque me gusta que siga con lo que a él le gusta, que le tenga amor a lo que él hace.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like eventually, like, yeah, people often have this, like, mindset, like, you know, it's weird with video games, like how could you possibly make a living? But once they like get to see and understand more how it works, that's like normally the type of response people have, right? You're doing something you enjoy for a living, and if you're good at it and you can keep doing it, then why not, right? Like, who would not pick to do something you enjoy for a living rather than being stuck somewhere where you like really dislike it? I do think some people, it comes from jealousy, that they are jealous that maybe they didn't get where they wanted, so they're mad at other people, like, oh, they get to do what they enjoy for a living, and they might feel like it's unfair. So, but yeah, normally I feel like people get to this conclusion that once they understand it more, right?
Okay, that was sick. That was actually like super dope. That was sick. Dude, I have the best Falcon edge guards. I swear to God, even though no one wants to admit it, I have the best Falcon edge guards. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, they're sick. They're sick.
Sin tu presencia. Es bastante complicado porque siempre para mí, pues, padre y madre tienen que estar juntas, pero se dan muchos casos que no, la pareja no está junta, pues, por cierta de otra X manera, pues. Que siga con amor en su trabajo, le deseo mucha suerte, que pues que gracias a ese amor que le tiene a Smash, pues estamos bien, gracias a Dios no nos ha perjudicado en nada, estamos siempre juntos, apoyándonos uno al otro y seguir adelante siempre con éxito.
So before even I started playing, a little bit of history about the Canadian scene is that there was like 5 elite Canadian players, and n0ne did come to Canada a little bit during that time, but he wasn't really well known. But as soon as, I think it was like 2014, 2015 around came along, n0ne started to come huge in the Canadian scene. He started getting better and better and adjusting to the play styles. And then all of a sudden, he just hit this huge boom of tournaments where he just started playing amazing, and then he beat Mewtwo King at the last Gommel, and he's pretty much become like our Canada hype man. He's just this new fresh blood in the Canadian scene, this nice flashy Falcon that we all now watch and look behind. I was already commentating all these high-level matches, right? So I was already just starting to get into it, because I don't actually normally commentate, I'm more of a player. But when I got to the n0ne Mewtwo King set, you know, you have to really let your biases not get in the way. It's like you're friendly, your homeboy versus one of the best players in the world, right? It's really hard. And I was kind of just like, at first I was just kind of commentating normally, but then the second it got even closer and closer, and n0ne's just pulling off these crazy moves, and he's already an exciting player to watch.
n0ne does not want to get near Mewtwo King on the edge. Needle conversion into dash attacks. The up airs. Tries to crouch cancel, gets hit. Oh, this is looking real bad.
Yeah, this was like the first time Mewtwo King lost to a Falcon at like a non-local in like 10 years or some shit. I think he lost like some set to Hacks at a small local, but this was like his first like big loss to Falcon in like a decade.
Mewtwo King playing so safe on the edge. He doesn't want to give n0ne a free hit here.
Forward tilt. Okay, up tilt. Is this it?
Oh, he tries a really great yellow. That was such good defense by Mewtwo King.
Dude, that was so close.
The raw forward smash! No way! Talk to him, n0ne!
Hold it in. By the end, I was standing up. I'm pretty sure I lost my voice that day. It was just insane. It was a really, really great experience. I can just say that. If I'm going to describe that set, like the environment, 2 words: the jungle.
Yeah, the F smash non-signature move against Mewtwo King.
I'm not even trying to boost my crew, but we're called the Hyenas, and we like to hype up
any set that we're like backing up our homies. Whether you could be from US, if we're cool with you, we'll help you out.
Nah, not for
But
that
non
event,
players,
Squall. It was a
it's over.
different
Like, it's
Canadian
gonna be 10
event where
times that.
it was
And,
like
obviously seeing n0ne do good
controversy
versus Mutakin,
about
it made
super
us,
cold
like, more
venue.
interactive, and it just started. Let me just say that you heard animal noises in the crowd, and like, what other gaming community do you hear that? Let's be real. I think he's important to the Canadian role because before him, there wasn't really anyone breaking the top 3 in Toronto. Kirby Kaze, Ryan Ford, and Rain-X, even we on X, shoutouts. But when he came, he started taking them all out. Especially like, you know, I don't know the exact year, but when he came back around then, he started taking them out, and it showed people like there's hope. And also it showed people like you could be good in Canada and you could compete in the US and still represent and do good. And especially with a character like Captain Falcon, right? It's actually motivating for sure.
Today we were with top 96, top 92. I'm not sure which one it is, but I played Ginger first round. It was that guy's really good. It was a 2-0, but I did like a comeback on FD. I got kind of lucky there, I guess, to be honest. After that, I played Mafia. That was best of 5. That went 3-1. He's really good. But I managed to clutch it out, do a few comebacks here and there too. And then after that, I played Leffen, and that was hectic. I don't feel I played my best. There's a few things here and there. It's mostly John's, but I couldn't hear Fox's recovery because the side stream had the main speakers on. So that kind of like I wasn't sure of what to do when I was off stage. So you know, you're not sure.
Dude,
what to do,
that's actually bad.
Ultimately, like,
I don't think I've ever had that issue.
After that, I played Ryan Ford. And
So basically, to describe that shortly for people that might feel like that's a very weird excuse, basically with Fox's side B, like human beings react quicker to audio cues rather than visual cues. So what people do traditionally to cover spacey side Bs is to react to the audio. And especially Fox's, since it's not as quick as Falco's, it's fairly easy. So yeah, if you actually can't hear the audio, it is like undeniably harder to edgeguard. But yeah, I can't ever remember having that issue myself at a tournament. But yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Kind of sucked because we're same region, so that's like team kill, right? That was a 3-0. I feel like he didn't play that well. I think we've definitely had in our time like some great sets, but I think that one he was playing a bit off. But for that one, the speakers were on the mainstream, so that was better. So yeah, now I'm just waiting for top 8. I made top 8 loser side at Gommel, and I'm waiting for the winner of Moon and Doug. So should be interesting.
Love great knowledge, right?
Okay. Nice.
That time the Nair gets beat out, but crowd canceled.
Uh-oh. Great air dodge, but Moon still keeping up the pressure.
Moon knows off stage, but he's going to go way high.
Yeah.
Moon knows. Oh,
he's
done.
bad.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Yeah. Nobody else.
All the Canadians just looked at him.
Yep. Nobody else joined him. I mean, there are
a big glare.
There are a lot of New York representatives here, including myself, but, you know, I don't want... Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have people saying
expletives to
New York. They're not fans of the Empire State, it seems.
He's jabbing. I probably an up tilt.
Yeah. Whenever you see him shake his head like that, you know he made a mistake. All right. Oh, this is tough, though.
Slide off. Nice, buddy.
Dude, n0ne, final stock.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, beautiful job by the move with the 3-0.
Super dominant.
Wow.
I did not think that set would be that dominant. I thought we'd see another set like Kirby Kaze Shroom. 3-0.
3-0. 3-0 victory over the...
Intense.
Over n0ne.
When I was playing
as a noob, there were no Falcon players in Toronto, and I was kind of the Falcon player up and coming, and I did okay. I was ranked, but I wasn't beating Ryan Ford or Kirby Kaze or Raynex. And then n0ne just came out of nowhere and just started destroying everybody and changing the way everyone looked at Falcon, and it just kind of brought it to a whole new level. And he's still doing it.
Yeah, no, for me, like, first time I met n0ne was it was like a Canadian tournament shortly after Apex 2015, and that was like the first time I played against n0ne. I actually had no idea who he was at the time, and I played some friendlies with him. I was like, damn, that guy is really, really good. Like, why haven't I heard about this guy before? We actually ended up teaming in PM that tourney because they had melee and PM. It was Mix Masher. Yeah, something like that was the name of the tourney. But I mean, he was really good. It was really good. I remember I did play him with both like Peach and Fox in friendlies, and I was like, yeah, he was super impressive. Super impressive. I feel like that's when a lot of more people started hearing about him. He had like some exhibitions against Kage that tournament as well. I think they had like exhibitions in like Falcon Dittos, Ganon Dittos, Falcon Ganon. It was like a lot of them.
Now he's just taking it further and further every time he travels. He's beating better and better players. He's making crazy upsets. He's beating gods. He's just crazy. So to me, it's like n0ne's role in Canada is he's just kind of showing people that they can do it, right? Especially not even with Fox, like not even with a super top tier character.
Back before n0ne was a thing, our big players were like Ryan Ford, Kirby Kaze, Raynex, IB, these big kind of evil geniuses, I'd say. And n0ne is kind of like the antithesis of that. He's like more of like the rock star. I actually remember like the first time n0ne came back to our scene in around 2014. I actually played him in tournament, and our set was game 5, but half the stocks I took, he took himself. So that kind of shows you what n0ne's all about. He goes for the utmost kills. It doesn't matter if he dies in the process, and that's what makes him so exciting to watch.
I played the Moon in top 8 losers, and he kind of messed me up. He did a switch in a few things here and there, and that was good, and I didn't see it coming. So, you know, I'm gonna have to bounce back from that because I'm usually like on top of him, but this time it was the other way around, you know. And yeah, I got outplayed, so GG's. It was a good event. I liked it. I wish I could have done better. I could have probably done better, but at least, you know, I didn't bust her out. You know, I got 7th place, the same as last year.
No, I think Falcon is really good. I do think like Falcos especially can be very tough. I've always, maybe not always, but for a long time at the very least, felt like that matchup in particular is very rough. Not impossible, but it's a very, very hard matchup to win, I feel like. I would say Sheik is not as bad as people for a long time said, but yeah. I mean, like, I feel like all the matchups are doable. All the matchups are doable, but it can be hard to like consistently win against some of these characters because you basically run into like disadvantaged matchups for the most part. But it obviously can be done. It obviously can be done. And we have seen some great wins from the Falcon players. Like from all 3 of them. From like n0ne, STJ, and Wizzy. But yeah, it's like it's a hard character to solo main if you want to be literally #1, I feel like.
¿Hacerlo así?
Mira.
Sí, ahora cuando hable va a ser clarito.
Acuérdate de hablar siempre despacio, con calma.
Sentate, equipo. Esto ponerlo aquí. Ahí quédate. ¿Y a clase de inglés fuiste?
Sí.
¿Y él cómo se llama?
Cono.
¿Y él?
John.
Yo. ¿Sabes? ¿Se acuerda? He remembers.
I think n0ne tweeted out like a picture or something recently of Junior playing melee.
A Canadá.
No, desde Estados Unidos. Y entonces cuando estés más grande vas a ir también a jugar, así como cuando yo streameo y juego.
Sí.
¿Te gusta eso?
Mario, mejor.
Mario, ¿te gusta?
Sí.
¿No te gusta Smash Bros?
No.
Sí. ¿Un poquito o mucho?
Poquito.
¿Y por qué poquito?
Porque a mí no me gusta.
Bueno, pues no, y tenés que jugar lo mismo que yo juego, Smash Bros.
¿Y cómo le hacen? ¿Cómo
Así,
le hacen?
solo jugando, así normal. ¿No te acordás?
Sí.
Con los controles, ¿ya?
Yeah, it can be so funny with kids, just being, you know, honest.
Out of the year, I just get to spend time with him when I come. He's Canadian citizen, I can get him anytime I want. But because, you know, I'm always out competing, I can't just, like right now there's not even anyone that could take care of him. So if I wanted him to be over there, it would have to be with someone. I'm trying to get my wife now over there. But, you know, it's rough. I'm in paperwork right now. We'll see what happens. And it definitely sucks, you know, the whole year long, I'm doing FaceTime calls with him, and he's like, Dad, when are you going to come back? This and that. You know, it hits you. It definitely hits you hard. It's definitely sad. You don't want a kid crying, when can he see you again? So hopefully I'll have him there with me in Toronto soon.
Con respecto a la escena aquí en Nicaragua, voy a serte honesto. Hace muchos años éramos mucha gente, la verdad.
Didn't like n0ne get his family over to Canada now? I mean, I know this one is like 2 years old, so of course a lot have changed. But I thought that was the case. Yeah. No, it was the case. I even like mentioned the junior playing, and that was like n0ne's place. So that's true. So yeah.
De hecho, vos entraste en una etapa en que esto ya estaba cesando, ya estaba muriéndose. Smash ya estaba muriéndose en el entonces cuando él entró a jugar.
I revived n0ne in this country.
Kind of. Pero sí, él realmente revivió un poco la escena en ese entonces. Por ver cosas nuevas, también eso nos empujó a querer mejorar, ¿ya me entendés? Porque él traía cosas que miraba en internet, porque él se pegó más a eso. Pues nosotros como que jugamos siempre entre nosotros y eso nos limitó un poco, entonces él trajo algo nuevo, nosotros lo aplicamos y así pues hemos ido mejorando un poco, pero el problema es que literalmente siempre somos los mismos jugando y ya no es como antes, pues ya nadie tiene el tiempo para jugar diario.
O sea, nosotros vivimos prácticamente distancias largas y en lo profesional nunca pensé que alguno de nosotros iba a llegar, o sea, a ser reconocido. Primero que todo, a que lo conozcan, ya. Entonces, y todavía poder haber visto a Chelevi que se dio a conocer, que dio bastante, pues, de qué hablar. Comenzaron a decir de que él era nicaragüense y que también, pues, que era canadiense, pero fue algo un buen salto fue el que dimos en nuestro país para mí. De hecho, lo conocí el mismo día que todo, yo estaba aquí cuando él vino. Bueno, y he sido el que más me he quedado con él en lo que es relación. Yo he sido el que más he viajado a Chinandega. He sido el que más hemos jugado aquí.
So basically back then, when we got the game, I was like maybe 12 years old. We got it on December, on Christmas night, and I remember we played until 4 a.m. And back then we actually took it like a party game. We didn't care, you know. We played 4 characters, doubles with items, Zelda's temple, and it was like that, you know. But then we started watching the American players, and that's how we started basically. From there, it just exploded. We met a lot of people. We did our own tournaments in some colleges here in Nicaragua. We actually had to rent a lot of spaces because we didn't have our own. We took our own TVs, our own GameCubes, and that's how we started basically, you know. It was a small community, but very close. We were very close, all of us.
Yeah, I know n0ne on like many occasions have spoken very highly of quite a few of the players from Nicaragua. I always feel like it's a shame with like how I mean, don't get me wrong here. Like, I don't want the scene to like be smaller in the US or anything, but I wish more countries had like as many players and as many good players as the US, and that Melee was more global. It's always like one of the things I wished for the game. Like, of course, it's easier in a sense for newer games to get like a big following like everywhere. Like you see more people from like various places. In like Ultimate, for example. I wish Melee had more of that. I mean, there are, of course, players that are good outside of the US. I just wish that he was bigger in more places. And, like, then you do have some of these players that are legit very good in different countries, but they might not have, like, the resources to be able to, you know, fly out to the US. And it's hard to get these good players to places outside of North America. So that's something I always wished for Melee. I mean, the Smash World Tour is obviously a good thing. Maybe a step in the right direction. But, yeah. It's a tough issue for sure.
We're here at Genesis. This is a pretty important tournament. It's a big one, you know, all the killers are here. It's the first one of the year, so it kind of like shows how you come into the year in regards to your, you know, your game level, I guess. 2017 was a rough year, man. There were so many events. Every single weekend I was out competing. It was hectic. But yeah, you know what, we showed up. We didn't do well at some, we did well at others. Hopefully for this new year, we're gonna try to look a bit into attendance a bit more. Probably not go to as much stuff, not burn out, because burnout is definitely a thing. And yeah, you know, just keep doing what we do best.
Hypest match of the tournament. Let's see what happens.
Honestly, this match usually happens really late in the bracket. We're seeing this at the very beginning of top 64, so that just shows you how stacked this tournament is.
That's something that you can work on.
So we'll see how he gets an opening here. Tries to get the grab.
Oh, what a crazy. Who does up smash?
Wow, that.
Oh!
Amazing! Unbelievable!
Whoa. Damn, yeah.
The forward tilt traded with the aerial, and he was able to combo off that tilt.
Oh, that was fairly certain that was a roll.
West trying to style here. Classic West, the jab into shine, into miss. He always tries out high percent
into miss every time.
Because he never likes to just do the jab like aerial or jab forward smash.
But everybody's DIing out.
Yeah, he loves to do combos. And that's it. No.
Yeah, he just gave up. He's like, you know what, I could come back and get edge guarded again, but let's just end this right now.
Yeah, the audio is like a bit inconsistent, like in some places.
I just beat Mike Hayes in Cactar, I don't know his tag now. How does he go by? But we got lucky next, so we'll see. This guy's a tough one.
That's unfortunate. Oh no. Oh, caught the jump. Damn, that's so unfortunate. That was a good bait by Lucky though, and trying to catch the jump. It's very common that people jump out of hit
I
stun.
ended up at Genesis at 17. Ended up losing to West Balls in the first round of top 64. I beat Mike Hayes and Cactus and ended up losing to Lucky, so GG's to them. Sorry?
Anything learned? Take away from Genesis?
You just gotta warm up early, you know, because that's a problem. I just gotta stick here at the venue, warm up early.
Anything you would have done differently?
Warm up early. But yeah, I would just overall come with, you know, with a group of friends on a Sunday morning. And yeah, just chill here at the beach. It's really hot here, so I'm gonna go show you guys where I used to play Melee. Like the very first spot I used to play Melee, like here in my city. It's like around the corner, but we'll get there. That was my spot I would always hide in to not go to school, right? So like I said, it's all very different now. Like there's this diner here, but basically in here, I would park my truck, a yellow truck. Everyone would tell me, what are you doing here? And the entrance to go play actually was in this thing, like right there. It's all like nice now, like it looks a lot nice, but in there, over here you can see at the back, now I can see it, there's construction going on, but it was all dirt. It was just literally all dirt. And you go inside, it's all dirt, it would look really ugly, but this is also different now. But basically in there is where I would hide. No one would know that I would not go to school. But this was where I played. Like internet wasn't a thing back then, right? So your friends would go tell everyone else, like all the other spots, all their friends, that you were a god, you were sick at Melee. So then everyone wanted to play you. So people got you famous on their own, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? So you were a known person off of your own friends. So it was definitely like...
He got ready for the American culture.
Your own spot here.
Y cuando él ganó en Canadá, yo estaba allá. Me sentí contenta porque él ganó. Yo lo apoyo porque eso es lo que a él le gusta, pero pues sí, yo creo que puede hacer las dos cosas, trabajar y jugar. Y como madre me sentí feliz por él.
La primera vez que vino, pues yo digo que tenía bastante talento, que era
Yeah,
bien rápido.
I mean, like, yeah, it's not too feasible though. I mean, you obviously can, but if you would have like a full-time job outside of competing as well, I mean, it wouldn't really work if you're an active player, because I mean, if you live in North America, I guess you could make it work. Like HBox did for a while, but you probably need quite a lot of like leniency from your work in terms of what you can do. Some tournaments might be off the table unless they give you like a special schedule. It would just be very, very rough. It would be very rough. But I mean, technically it could be done if you live in North America, I guess, but it would be rough. It would be rough. And if you live anywhere else, it would be absolutely impossible. Full time at least.
Sí, yo digo, va en serio. Entonces él empezó a venir más seguido y cada vez que venía mejorando con nuevas cosas. Y ya cuando de pronto nos sorprendió de que ya él estaba ganando, entonces ya la verdad que sí tiene talento y desde un comienzo pues ya sabíamos que n0ne podía pelear afuera bien.
¿Cuál es mi rol aquí? Pues básicamente mi rol aquí es como lo es n0ne en Canadá. Él es como la persona que representa a su país. Entonces yo básicamente he estado tratando de salir a Estados Unidos para representar a Costa Rica y también he tratado de hacer que la comunidad se incentive. Este evento lo hicimos gracias a que encontramos este lugar y por dicha logramos poner las cosas. Entonces yo soy la persona que trata de organizar las cosas, la persona que trata de incentivar a las personas, a los nuevos, de tratar de subir el nivel lo más posible. Así que he tratado de hacer eso y espero seguirlo haciendo en este año y en los que siguen.
Lo considero un gran amigo. Y cada vez que yo puedo voy a Nicaragua a verlo a The Homies y verlo a él, y cada vez que igualmente que él viene y se acerca acá a Costa Rica, somos muy cercanos.
He pensado incluso retirarme varias veces y nunca lo logro, porque al final uno termina reuniéndose con gente. Significa un grupo de amigos que hice cuando empecé a jugar, que ahora hablo con ellos hasta fuera de Mili en temas no relacionados con Mili.
Yeah, this guy actually came to like an event in Sweden too.
Y es parte de mi vida ahora, ya no puedo casi retirarme, por más que a veces digo no estoy practicando suficiente, tal vez necesito parar, y de igual forma sigo jugando. Entonces para mí ya se volvió como parte de un estilo de vida tal vez. Lo tuve en mi casa, se quedó una semana en mi casa, estuvimos jugando bastante, estuvo parejo en realidad en ese momento, en ese entonces. Y bueno, así fue como lo conocí, por Mil, y ahora luego se fue a Canadá. Entonces obviamente perdimos el contacto y dejamos de jugar, pero siempre es bienvenido a Costa Rica y sabe que aquí tiene una casa, digamos.
de la primera vez que Edgar viajó a Canadá, nosotros nos sentimos como que, wow, está jugando con todos los top del mundo. Y cuando ganó el torneo, que le hizo un comeback de Force Stock a Weon X, si no me equivoco, nosotros nos quedamos como que, increíble, le hizo un comeback a un top del mundo internacional.
Yeah, that gotta be so rough, getting reverse 4 stocked and then lose the set.
Y que ahí en Canadá nos represente y gane un torneo así de la nada, porque él llegó como por ejemplo, el extraño, el nuevo de la comunidad, y que gane así de la nada y le gane a todos los top de Canadá, eso es algo de admirar.
That's the goal, to keep improving, you know, stay hungry, stay like wanting to be motivated, because the moment you lose motivation, the moment you stop being hungry, stuff stops being interesting, you know. And you have to find ways, you have to find excuses to make something interesting in order for you to keep loving it. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of perspective of how you see things, and yeah, that's pretty cool, you know, because it gives you a sense of accomplishment overall, you know. So, yeah.
All right. That was it for the n0ne documentary. I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I would like to have seen a little bit more of like the better tournaments for him, but I mean, I guess they had a pretty straightforward plan with what events. I feel like in terms of results, it didn't give him quite justice. I feel like he is a lot better than some of the events showed, sadly. But besides that, I think it was good. You know, get to see more of like n0ne's story, and I mean, he deserves more attention. But yeah, what did you guys think? What did you guys think about the doc? Please let me know.